Welcome back to tonight's Sad Reality, where I'm playing Schizophrenia the game, because I'm going to be talking about something that bothers me and something I keep seeing on YouTube and just socializing in general. And that is the topic of social interactions and how they've changed so much over time. I mean, I feel like people talk about dystopias or you see all these movies. I've never seen like Black Mirror or whatever, but I keep hearing that one come up. All these just like really unfortunate things that are happening, and it's becoming more normal. For me, it's the social interaction of when a customer walks in the store. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Is there anything I'll be fine today? Or just like, hey, how are you doing? And they're just like, no thanks. I'm thinking, what do you mean no thanks? Like that wasn't like that's not like a valid answer to that question. Like, how are you doing? No thanks. Okay, well maybe you don't want to talk. I get it. Whatever. That's fine, I guess. And also, I forgot, this game makes me, like, sick, almost. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be playing for. Just because I don't like bobbing or anything like that in games, or just... Also, QE to strafe, ship to sprint. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's such a weird game, but it's kind of cool. And by cool, I mean, I had a friend who played this once, and I was like, you know, it's a very interesting idea, design, whatever. I'm not sure it's really the type of game that's for me, but so are those social interactions that really bother me. They may lie to you in many ways. Kill her. Gone. There's an achievement for, like, doing everything peacefully or whatever. Also, this is the demo, just to clarify, it's not the actual game. And I need a key for this. I assume it was back in the maze back there or whatever. Also, the game also just, like, changes as you go through it as well, which I think is a really cool level design. I remember there was, I think it was a Doom mod. Yeah, I think it was a Doom mod. That was basically just like a house you could go through. It might literally been called House. And you just go through it, and it's like a... Almost, it felt like you're going through hell, almost, as everything around you is changing in the house. And I was like, oh, it's such a cool idea for like a thing. Choose to touch, click on the item. Didn't I click on the item? What? I'm probably really stupid. This is what I get for not paying any amounts of attention. But, I guess on the topic of all this schizo kind of stuff, there was a... Maybe it's gonna pop up if I click it again? I don't know. I've already found some way to bug this. Oh! That would make sense. Okay. Genius YouTuber here, by the way. She's stuck on the first level. So, I think it's in New York, where there's this, like, pendant AI thing that you can talk to. And the thing about this that really bothers me is, like, surveillance and all sorts of forward control to look around freely. This game is very, sightsee kind of sewage treatment. The children's hospital or the public school? Let's stay away from topics that might get demonetized on a channel that has 7 subscribers. You got it for 7 subscribers after like 115 videos or whatever. But to be fair, that's kind of what I deserve because I haven't really been able to post consistently or whatever. I did almost 100 videos in a row daily, but obviously stuff came up, my AC, and I've already talked about all that. As far as surveillance goes with all that, there was just so much that I was like, oh, this is really... Like, this is a bad idea, you know? But I'm obviously talking about a Louis Rossmann video, if that's not also super obvious either. But he brought up an interesting point, and it was that there had to be some venture capitalists out there who decided it was a good idea to pour money into a talking AI pendant, which means that there is supposedly this problem out there where people don't socialize or don't want friends and they'd rather have something else, I guess. But that really shouldn't be a problem, and honestly that's not really a world I want to live in, but I guess it is a problem. And that problem simply being... Is it Q to look around? This is why I should read a little bit more. Oh, there we go. I also got lost in this game multiple times, so that's probably going to happen today as well. But I feel like, for me at least, it's not really hard to socialize, and I've kind of found my own niche by merit of, well, A, necessity, but also B, just you talk with enough people, it's like, oh hey, it turns out I can sell things to people. Kawaii stalk. I think there's an enemy somewhere in the sewer, but I can't remember because it's been so long. See this monster, being on the slaughter. Since you've been gone. Killed that thing. There's also like rest points where like you like heal yourself. I don't know, it's been a while, as I just said. But I guess the problem is people, and what I've always noticed, doesn't matter when it is, the problem is always going to be people. Like, we always create our own problems, we create these situations we can't get out of, and then we create dumb solutions to then fix those things in the first place. But it would have been fine if we just learned how to socialize in the first place, you know? Like, to me, I feel like that's the greater issue. It's not that companies want to, like, surveil us and all that, because, like, don't get me wrong, I think that's awful, too. There's a lot of people fighting against that right now as well. But the fact that we ourselves enable that or create a problem where we don't like socializing, or we feel we can't socialize, or we just hate people for whatever reason, which I guess I'm kind of in that boat too, knowing all the bad interactions I've had. So I guess I'm kind of part of the problem in a way. It sucks, you know? In fact, I have a guy sitting here in VC with me, doesn't want to talk any. You might have just heard him there for a second laughing, but that's kind of the world we live in, you know? People don't want to engage, I guess. Like, it's easier to just sit by yourself and do nothing, and that's... Maybe I'm critical of that, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm part of the problem too. But to me, that's always been the kind of the greater sad reality, if you will. The bridge is out. Isn't there like a lever somewhere? Somewhere there's a lever, maybe? This is the part I remember getting lost at, but I can't remember. Because also, like, the walls, there's patterns here, and if you miss, like, a sharp left turn, you'll just never see that, oh, hey, there was, like, an extra door there or something. And I don't know. Again, games like this just make me feel weird. All the textures and, like, the bobbing and stuff, too. Or maybe it's just, like, the pixel design. Back when I was getting my dad to play Minecraft, he really struggled with the graphics, like, being blocky pixelated. Like he said, it gave him a headache. And I was kind of curious why that was. It's not something that really made sense to me. But the more I've played games, in a way, the more I've also kind of begun to experience random... Oh, that's... evil thing. Get out of here. The more I've begun to also experience stuff that also kind of sucks, or whatever. Like, this is gonna... Please don't be an enemy. Okay, you're not an enemy. That's good. I'm gonna die if you were an enemy. But, like, Hollow Knight, I love Hollow Knight, but Green Path, for whatever reason, I just feel like I always had, I don't know, just, like, the ambience made me feel weird. That's really the best way I can explain it. That and having to take a piss, but probably doesn't help that there's all, like, these, like, water noises during the entire section of that. I guess kind of point being, though, it's, like, where I'm getting at with all these things, it's different for different people, maybe, and... Oh, he's dead. Well, that's unfortunate, I suppose. Anyways, so I guess when it comes to socializing, gaming, whatever it is, I guess different people struggle with different things, and that's part of the problem. But I feel like the end goal of that problem is, I guess, our refusal to address it or do anything about it, because life's been that way for so long, it's just we get used to it, and that's unfortunate, I suppose. I'd rather it not be that way. Am I not close enough to the door? Door, please. Hello. It's not the right key. Whatever, I'm crazy. Just like this game! Yeah, I think I'm gonna talk about that more tomorrow, how we don't really solve our own problems and stuff like that. That's something that's also been on my mind, where there are people that see problems, especially coworkers, and they don't really fix things. It's not like actual problems, it's more like we could improve our lives, and then we decide not to, just by merit of sitting around and not really feeling like doing. Oh, this is the door. See, there we go. If you just bang your head into the wall enough, you'll eventually find things. But look at this, more nightmare fuel. Yay! I'm so glad. You have health for me. You have key for me. We take health. Give me health, please. Cool. And the key we have. Cool. But I think it's about wrap it up for tonight. That was just something that has been kind of on my mind with that. It's, I guess, a weird time that we're living in, but I also feel like if you've ever talked with old people, they'll tell you it's not as bad as you think stuff is, because they've been around, they've seen stuff that looked bad and it wasn't that bad. Now, of course, there are threats that are unprecedented to even them, but I guess kind of the point is they're still here, you know, despite having seen more of life than we have, for better or worse, you know? So, all that said, thank you so much for watching, I suppose. I don't know what I'm playing, but I hope this was enjoyable to some extent, and have a fantastic rest of your night. Thanks for watching this sad reality.